Hi, I'm Ted. In today's video we're going to build some barn doors for the bathroom, both as sort of a shower curtain and as the toilet door. Okay, if you've been following along, you know that I've been pulling off this pile of lumber that I got for free since last spring, and I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel now. I keep saying that, then I keep finding a little bit more, but it's the quality is rougher and rougher, and I get some splits and checks or it's warped. So I planed this batch down, and I really got to straighten it, especially if I'm going to glue up the panels for the barn doors. And I'm thinking that I really, because I can't have any leaks in them, I think I'm going to create my own tongue and grooves in them, so hopefully they'll fit together a little bit better. So I got to straighten them up. So I've got my my jig set up on my table saw, which is basically just a piece of MDF that I know is straight with some clamps on it, and that way I can sort of hang one edge of the board off the side, use the flat, really straight edge of this MDF to get at least one edge straight, and then I can flip it over and do the rest of it. I tried a little bit with a rough cut, but it's sort of big and awkward, and I like to kind of get it processed and down into more manageable sizes, and I can sort of fine trim the edges. So hopefully we get it nice and straight, and then we'll move over to the router table and cut the groove. And then I haven't exactly figured out how I'm going to cut the tenon yet. I might use the router table or I might use the table saw. We'll see how that goes. Alright, I got a slot cutter bit in the router table, and I did the best I could to get these as flat as I can, and I labeled them which side I want to have the tongue on versus the groove. So I'm going to cut the groove now. And I got a feather board in here, and I will hope keep it pressed down as much as I can for consistent cuts, because I know there are going to be a few waves in it. So hopefully we can make it as true as possible. Now I tried to get the groove in the middle as much as I could, but there's a little bit of variances and it's kind of precise, so I'm going to actually try to match the cutting the tongue to the groove. So I'm just going to set my height of the table saw to the same height of that as the groove. You also know that the slot of the groove is 3/8 of an inch thick, so I set my combination square to 3/8, and I'll set that, or they say thick, not deep really. So then I'll set my combination square to that, put my fence up. That will fit there. And this way we just slide the fence over to match up each groove, which is always tricky. And do a quick test cut just to see if I'm on. Now just using glue and clamps and wrestling them together, which I predict is not going to be easy. Alright, so as I suspected, just the uneven thicknesses of the boards and the warping, we got a pretty uneven surface. So I got a block plane, and I'll try to knock everything and smooth everything out as much as I can. Then take the belt sander and we'll get it flat. It just takes a little bit more work. All right, these I don't even know what these are called. They're kind of like a frame. I don't know, the pieces that go across barn doors. I don't know what they're called, but so I laid them out, and I figured I'd want to put a screw for each board just because of moisture there. I worried it'd be warping, so the more support I can give it, the better. So I just laid one out. I put dots on it. I'm just going to go through with my speed square so that all my dots line up. Not that that's probably critical structurally, but hopefully it'll just look prettier. I lost one of my dots. There they are. There, and there, and then here. That lines them up all this way, and then I'll set up a fence on my drill press. Now I'm going to pre-drill these to sink the screws down in. Now just screw them into place. To make these little cross pieces, I'm just going to line up the ends there and mark it underneath. Cut them. Alright, now we're going to make some plugs to hide up those screw holes. So we got this little fancy little bit here, and we'll just drill a bunch of plugs out of this piece of oak, and we'll put them in and cut them off and sand them down. Right now, just drop a little bit of glue in each of the holes. Now just sand them off. Okay, sanded down the doors, put multiple coats of urethane spar varnish on it, mostly, well, for the water really. It's got a lot of solids in it, so it really repels water, which is a useful characteristic for a shower door. And now I've run into the fatal design flaw. So I had hoped to have bypass sliding doors so that you have one for the toilet over here and one for the shower, and so you can slide this barn door this way to get in the shower, and then slide it back, and then slide the other barn door for the toilet. So I ordered this hardware, and the hardware, but you got to mount this to a beam, and the beam has to go up there, and I thought, well, I'll just get 2 beams and go across the top, which really wouldn't be a big deal. But the problem is I need 4.5 inches, which I didn't realize when I bought the hardware, to slide the 2 doors across. And 4.5 plus 4.5 is 9. See me do that in my head. And 9 inches means, well, it's quite a big span here. I'm sort of taking up 4 inches of the shower or 4 inches of the hallway. And that's just kind of too much. It seems like, obviously we're kind of limited with bus space, and so I don't know if that's going to work. So if anybody needs some barn doors, let me know. Well, I don't know what, and maybe there's a way I can open them this way, but then I'd have to build some sort of jamb in the front. I'm not sure I'm going to build a jamb here. So I think I've fatally designed myself in a corner where I can't do that, and so my solution is this. Just kind of use a shower curtain, I guess. So we'll just take a shot from this angle so you can see, here's my useless hardware. I'll send that back, I guess. But, from Maine, had to go with the moose theme here. Julie loves mooses anyway. And so this will kind of work both as a shower curtain and as a bathroom door, I guess, until unless any of you guys have any brilliant ideas of how I can make that work better, I think that's what I'm gonna use. So anybody has any interest in barn doors, one's like 32 inches by 60 and the other one's 22 inches by 60. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. So that's what happens when you're like me. It's really hard for you to see exactly what that final project is going to look like. Unfortunately, sometimes, you know, some people are really good at that. I'm not. I can build it if someone shows a picture, and I can figure it out as we go. And for the most part, on all the other projects, I've been able to sort of semi-design things and make them work as I go through the process. And this is unfortunately just not one of those ones that did. So I guess that's as the way it goes sometimes in Skoolie building. So, well, at least again, you see how to build barn doors, I guess. And like I said, appreciate you watching. Thanks for joining along, and looking forward to see you down the road. So like, subscribe, do all those things you do, and like I say, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.